Welcome back to another episode of War in Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail the story of how a man killed his own grandma. Luis Gustavo Arroyo Lopez was a 24-year-old man from Santa Rosa. His family would describe him as a screw-up and even a drug addict, with him gaining an addiction to allegedly crystal meth. He was known to steal from his family, and they would stop associating with him off this factor. Luis was raised by his grandmother Elvia and was described by his family as a fake gangster wanting to be in a lifestyle he had no business being in, and that would lead to a troubled past. He would go to prison and had been in prison for assault with a deadly weapon and also weapon charges, but he will be released in 2023. On November 2nd, 2023, a neighbor to Elvia would notice her grandson Luis heading towards Elvia's home around noon. She would say, "He just walked a normal pace and knocked on the door." She added Elvia was surprised and happy seeing Luis. They were just talking, and then they went inside Elvia's home. However, about 3 hours after the neighbor heard a woman frantically emerging from the house and saying, "Elvia's been decapitated. She has no head." Officers from the Santa Rosa Police Department were called to the scene around 3:40 p.m. They would find the beheaded body of Elvia, but her head was gone from the scene. It was later confirmed that her grandson had carried out a targeted attack against his own grandma. He believed the scene with her head. It was several weapons found at the scene as well. In a joint effort with the U.S. Marshals, detectives shared details about Luis with other law enforcement bodies to aid in his capture. On November 4th, police from the San Francisco Police Department spotted Luis at a transit center, recognizing him from a wanted person bulletin due to his unique tattoo, a prominent 420 tattoo.
For a homicide suspect, he's accused of decapitating a woman in the North Bay, and police say he may still have the victim's head. Tonight, a family member is speaking to us exclusively from Mexico, confirming the victim is the suspect's grandmother. NBC Bay Area's Pete Serratos has the details.
To a gruesome crime out of Santa Rosa. Police say that 24-year-old Luis Gustavo Arroyo Lopez is accused of decapitating a family member inside of her Santa Rosa home this week.
But this happened on an ordinary street in Santa Rosa where a woman in her 60s was found beheaded in her own home. Police think it was someone in her own family who did it. They say he's still on the run tonight, and what's even more disturbing, he may still have the victim's head with him.
This is relatively a safe and quiet area. Now the question is, why did this happen?
Luis was arrested immediately. With Luis now behind bars, the duty of finding his grandmother's head was left to the police. It was discovered about 7:30 on November 4th, the same day he was arrested. It was found on the bank of Santa Rosa Creek, not far from where her body was found. Luis is now pleading guilty to this gruesome crime and still fighting his case of killing his own grandmother. R.I.P. to her. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, make sure you check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.